Hi, so my name is Wayne Trail. I'm teaching the Astronomy 1904 online summer class for 2021. I'm just going to say a few things about me. I've been teaching at SWASU for almost 20 years. I grew up in New York City. I moved to Oklahoma for graduate school in 1983, so I've been living here almost 40 years. I had a few stints in Colorado for various jobs that I had. But I've been here a long time. I have two daughters who are out of college now. Um, I teach mostly physics and astronomy and work with the physics club here on campus, which is one of the really fun things I do. And if you're interested in science, you don't have to be a science major, or if you're interested in, we do rocketry and astronomy, all kinds of stuff. If you're interested in any of that, you can come see me. Um, we have lots of fun physics club activities. Okay, so this is the syllabus we're looking at, and that's me. I'm going to try to be really diligent about answering my email with you guys, and so please feel free to email me if you have any sort of procedural questions or just any questions. That's my phone number. My office hours in the summer are a little weird, so I'd rather you email me. You can free to call me anytime you want. I just don't guarantee I'll get it, and I often don't check my messages very well, so be sure to email me if you want to contact me, and I'll be diligent about that. For the first week, I'm going to set up the office hours as Monday to Thursday, 6 to 7, until I get a feel for sort of what works for you guys. And I can set them up anytime. For now, we'll do that. The textbook for this class is called Astronomy. It's by Andrew Fracknoy and a guy named Morris and a few other people. It's available for free online at https, well, that URL right there. And so you can just go get it. I've linked it in a lot of our modules, so hopefully you won't have to look very hard to find it, and you can dig into it anytime you want. I hope you will. I want you to. So I'll talk about that more as we go. Your grades are determined as follows. In this class, we're going to have quizzes, discussions and activities, exams, and a final. And this is my first time teaching this class online, so I may make some changes to this, but I'm going to try not to make it too complicated, especially this time through. So we have 8 weeks. I'm going to give you 2 quizzes a week. The first week, your quizzes will be on Wednesday and Thursday. After that, I'm going to try to make them Tuesday and Thursday. They'll try to cover 1 chapter, and I'll give you some hints about that as we go. So if we get 2 quizzes a week, and we have 7 weeks of class time before finals, we'll probably have 14 quizzes. I'm going to, I'll talk about that some more as we go. So I'm going to have a group discussion on every module we'll do. We'll do 1 module per chapter, and so we'll do about 20 chapters in the class. And so I'll have discussions and activities. I'll have a discussion thread for every module, but they'll be divided up by week. So we'll do about 3 modules, 3 chapters per week to get 20 chapters through in the 7 weeks. And the discussion threads will last for a whole week. So all 3 chapters for week 1, we'll have the same discussion thread link in the module. And I'll talk about that more as we go. And so you can get points by just participating in discussions or asking questions and stuff like that. There'll be 3 exams. They're 100 points each. That's 300 total points. The final exam is 200 points. So there's a total of 800 points in the class. And I'll break this down some more as we scroll down here a little bit. If you want to figure out what grade you need to make whatever grade you want, 90% of 800 is 720, 80% is 640, 70% is 560, 60% is 480. You can sort of figure that out, right? And so if you want to pass the class, you have to get at least 480 points. I may curve that a little bit. I may not. It just depends on how things go. So studying for the class, I'm going to go over this some more as we go, but I'll just sort of walk you through this. There's a chapter and a video and an outline. And so certainly the chapter in the book is worth reading, and you can study from that. I have an online sort of video summary for each chapter, and you can watch the video. It uses the outline and PowerPoint slides. And so I'm still struggling to create those a little bit, and you can kind of see that my video editing skills aren't super. And so anyway, I'm working on that, but any and all of those options are ways for you to learn this material. Each module has a Word document with a title. It'll be like Chapter 5 Questions docx. So the module for Chapter 5 will have a file with this name in it. And this is just a list of questions that I think you ought to be able to answer. And for each chapter, it's inside that module. And so the modules are very modular, hopefully. And so the information that I want you to know should be in that module. And so you can open this file. I don't think chapter 5 is out there yet, but 1, 2, and 3 are. And you can read the questions and sort of try to learn them, maybe print them out and keep them with you as you watch the video, as you study. And that would be a good starting place for being able to do well on the tests. I reserve the right to have any questions on there, but these are some ones that I think are important that you should know. In the textbook, at the end of almost every chapter is a list of key terms. These are like vocabulary. I also include vocabulary in the outline file, which I talked about earlier, and I'll talk about some more in a little bit, and in my videos. And so there's a lot of vocabulary to learn in astronomy. They're just all sorts of words to describe things that we're not normally used to talking about, and so we need new nouns. And then finally, at the end of each chapter in the book, most chapters, there are exercises and thought questions. It's worth looking at these. When I'm writing exams, I'm sometimes just browsing through those questions and thinking about, what we talked about. So the quizzes. All right, let's break down the quizzes. There will be approximately 2 quizzes per week, usually on Tuesday and Thursday. I'm going to tell you right away on week 1, it's going to be Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday's quiz will be over chapter 1. Thursday's quiz will be over chapter 2. And then I'll do something a little different in week 2. I'll go back to Tuesday and Thursday, and probably the Tuesday quiz will have 2 chapters on it. 3 and 4, say, or something like that. So this week, Wednesday and Thursday, Wednesday is chapter 1, Thursday is chapter 2. There'll be about 5 questions, always multiple choice. My exams and my quizzes are always multiple choice. So there'll be about 5 questions. Each quiz will cover 1 or 2 chapters. I'll drop the 3 low scores. By the end of the semester, you'll have taken, what did we say earlier? 14, maybe somewhere between 10 and 14. And I'll probably drop your 3 lowest ones. I say I'll drop at least your 3 low scores, so I'll just stick to my word on that. And the rest will be averaged to a possible 200 points. So if you have 95% on your quizzes, then you'll get 190 points out of 200 at the end of the semester. So discussions and activities. In each module, there will be a discussion thread corresponding to the week the chapter is being studied. So there'll be 1 discussion thread for each week. There's 100 points available in this section. 70 of the points will correspond to your participation in the weekly threads each week. So if you're a good participant and either ask questions or answer questions or just contribute to the discussion in some substantial way other than just dragging a question out of a file and posting it online, I'll give you points for that. So you can get points by either posting a question beyond the ones I put in the chapter 2 doc file. There should be a closed parentheses right there. Or answering a question that's been posted, mine or someone else's. I'll try to throw some questions up, especially since occasionally I'll make a little mistake in one of my videos. I'll say something wrong or say something confusing, and I might post a question about it. Or participating in the discussion in some other interesting way. You can participate by putting up your own questions, and they can be anything as long as they're related to what we're talking about. I get to be the judge. If this isn't working right, I'll tweak it somehow. Hopefully, we'll just discuss and it'll all go fine. So we'll have 3 one-hour exams during the semester. Each will cover about 7 chapters. So you'll have there'll be 50 questions, and they're all multiple choice, just like I said before. I'll be using Respondus Lockdown Browser. I'll try to put up a sample beforehand so you can see if it works for you, and we can figure out what we have to do if it doesn't. Each exam's worth 100 points. You'll have 1 in week 3, 1 in week 5, and 1 in week 7. That's about just what we're stuck with. So I won't give any makeup exams. If you have some problem, we can work it out, but you need to get with me just right away. I mean, I realize sometimes bad things happen, and we can work around that, but let me know as soon as possible. So that's not April, that's July. I think the final exam, let me just check my calendar here. I think it's Wednesday, July 28th, and it's not going to be from 10:30 to 2:30 to 2:20. I'm going to give you a time window. And it's not going to be in this room. Sorry, I meant to edit this, but in all cases, for the tests and the quizzes, I'll give you a time window to take it. Hopefully several hours, like 6 hours or something like that. On the first one on Wednesday and Thursday, I'll probably give you like 12 hours from noon to midnight to take it. And then I'll squeeze that down a little bit as we go. For the quizzes, you'll have 10 minutes, at least at the start. You may have less than that as we go. For the exams, I'll give you 50 minutes. And so for the final, you get an hour and 50 minutes, I think. If you have any issues, if you need to contact me, please send me an email and we can set up a phone call. My summer hours are just a little bit unpredictable, so please just send me emails and then we can follow up with phone calls. I'm easy to get a hold of, hopefully, this summer. I'm just not always in my office. If you have any kind of disability, those have to be done through the dean's office, but I should be able to, hopefully, I haven't done an online class before, but hopefully I can accommodate that. Okay, so that's the syllabus. I reserve the right to make some changes to this. If I do, I'll make notifications to you on that. So let's go to the I don't have to pause. Okay, so this is what the Canvas page should look like, and I have 3 modules up here. When I click on the home page, it just puts up the modules, and I should probably do something more sophisticated than that, but I'm probably not going to. Sometimes I'll throw announcements at you. So I just want to pull up one of these. So this is all 3 of these chapters are for week 1. And so each one of these modules, chapter 1, week 1, chapter 2, week 1, chapter 3, week 1. So if I click on this and just look at what's in it, here's the discussion thread, and each one of these will have a week 1 discussion thread. Chapters 4, 5, and 6 will have a week 2 discussion thread. I haven't used these discussion threads before in my classes, but hopefully they'll work the way I want them to. And so you'll be able to click on there and contribute to a discussion, I hope. I'll probably post a question or 2 there on the first day. Chapter 1 questions. So this is a Word file that has questions that you should be able to answer after you've read the chapter or looked at the video. This is a link to the outline. This link to the outline is the whole outline for the whole class, and so it's got a breakdown of every chapter, and I'm constantly working on it. And so, if you wanted to look at the outline for chapter 1, you could go to this file and scroll to the top where it's talking about chapter 1. And so on. This link should be in every module, and so you can access it. And I'll be constantly updating it and putting it back in the file section where that link still works, hopefully. So this next link is my astronomy playlist. This is on my YouTube channel, and this is going to have all of the videos as I create them. And so you can just click on that link anytime and go to the chapter that we're looking at. I've also tried to put a link to the individual video from that chapter in there as well. And so you can just click on that and go directly to it and watch that video if you want. This is a link to the astronomy textbook. I'll try to have this in every module also. Again, the textbook is free. You can download it from OpenStax and keep it on your PC if you want to. Or you can just use it online. It's probably easier to download if you can. It's not that big. It's 50 megabytes or something like that. I can't remember. It's probably bigger than that. And finally, this is the PowerPoints. These also appear in my video. The video is just me talking over the outline in the PowerPoints and going through them and kind of having some examples and doing a little drawing on a board and stuff. So you can browse the PowerPoints as well, and I try to put those in for every chapter. Mostly they're right out of the textbook. The textbook, you can download the PowerPoints for the textbook and they'll look similar to this. I've added a few in places for just my own clarification and stuff. And so in some ways mine will be different than theirs, but for some chapters it's exactly the same. And so your goal is to try to work to where you can answer these questions and and others. Look at the end of the chapter. Can you answer those questions? Do you know the vocabulary? Those types of things. And then participate in the discussion and prepare yourself to take a quiz over it. That's kind of your goal. And so for week 1, here are your modules, right? Here's chapter 1. There was chapter 1. Here's chapter 2. Notice chapter 2 has 2 videos in it. So some chapters are longer than others, and if they're long, I sometimes break them up into 2 videos so that I'm not so I don't have just an hour video to edit. They're a lot of trouble to edit if they're really long, and they're probably easier to look at in pieces anyway. And so some of them are 2-part videos and some of them are 1-part videos. But be aware, if you go straight to the playlist, make sure that whatever chapter you're working on doesn't have a part B that you didn't think about. And again, everything else is the same. Same week 1 discussion thread. This is chapter 2 questions. This is the same outline that we looked at above for the whole book. That's just me for the whole course. And this is the chapter 2 PowerPoints and so on. And here's chapter 3, much the same. And so you should be able to work through these this week. You'll just get quizzes on chapters 1 and 2, but next week you'll get a quiz on chapters probably 3 and 4 on your first quiz, and 5 and 6 on your second quiz. So you'll probably have quizzes over 2 chapters both days next week. So I'd go ahead and get done with chapter 3 so that you don't have to start studying that next week when you're doing other things. Okay, hopefully that gets you started. Again, if you have any questions, email me. I'll be putting announcements out as we go.